Welcome, everyone. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the cultural backdrop of history's most influential figure, Jesus of Nazareth. Stick around to the end as we examine the fascinating cultural aspects that surrounded his life and his teachings. Let's dive right in. What would it have been like living in Jesus' time? To truly understand the teachings of Jesus within their context, one must step into a world of clashing beliefs, rigid traditions, and oppressive Roman rule. Understanding this cultural context will help us grasp the enormity of Jesus' teachings and his mission on earth. So let's start. Imagine a community torn four ways. That's first century Judea. The Pharisees were those that focused on strict law-keeping. The Sadducees were those that controlled the temple and sided with Rome. The Essenes were those living as desert hermits. And the Zealots were those that were wanting to fight for freedom. Jesus navigated these divisions, exposing hypocrisy within each of them, yet drawing wisdom where he found it. He somehow created a message for all of them. Talk about multitasking. In the world in which Jesus lived, it was all about honor and shame. That meant that if you were caught eating with known sinners, it could cause a major scandal. If you were seen letting women touch you in public, that would have been like social suicide. Yet Jesus totally flipped those false narratives, saying, "Forget what others think. God alone truly knows your heart. Only God may judge your purity." Think of ancient purity laws as the do not cross lines of modern society. For example, lepers were totally off limits. Bleeding women were seen as completely unclean, and people steered clear of Gentiles. But Jesus walked right over those lines, healing the sick, dining with sinners, and even allowing the unclean to touch him. These acts symbolized God's love for everyone and would have been seen as incredibly revolutionary at that time. Jesus' approach to the Roman rulers was also unique. Pay your taxes. Sound familiar? The Romans didn't just take the people's money, they crushed their spirit. Their heavy taxes left people broke and bitter. Here's where Jesus offered everybody a bold hope for a better life. His message of the kingdom of God wasn't just spiritual. When he said, "Render unto Caesar," it was a divine message saying, "Don't let Rome own your soul." Pure genius. Picture this. The Jews were waiting for a sword-swinging, Rome-crushing superhero Messiah. Instead, they got Jesus, a peaceful teacher who said, "Love your enemies." Awkward, right? But Jesus wasn't clueless. There was a reason why he said this. He redefined the concept of a Messiah as someone who conquers hearts, not empires. It wasn't what they all wanted, but it was what they needed. So how were religious teachings and new ideas spread amongst the people in Jesus' time? For starters, storytelling was king. There was no TikTok, no internet, and very few texts, just word of mouth. So parables like the Good Samaritan or the Prodigal Son weren't just teachings, they were cleverly crafted pearls of wisdom for memorization and retelling. Jesus didn't just teach, he created memes that went viral in a world without Wi-Fi. We also need to grasp the political backdrop for all this. Think of the Jerusalem temple as the White House, Wall Street, and the Vatican rolled into one. It was the spiritual and cultural heart of the Jewish people. So, when Jesus cleared out the money changers, it wasn't just a clean-up, it was a divine statement. True worship isn't about money or power. No wonder it ruffled feathers. Now think about this. Jesus lived in a world with similar struggles to what we still face today. Social divides, unfair systems, and expectations we can't meet. His message didn't just speak to ancient Judea, it still resonates. So the next time you hear a parable, remember the grit and culture behind it. Pretty cool, huh? Enjoyed all this? Hit like and subscribe for more fascinating insights that bring history and Jesus to life.